Hello, this is Coach Ray for Lee County Sheriff 2020. I want to talk to you about your goals and your dreams. There's a lot of people that have goals and dreams and they just never seem to get there. So what you have to do is you have to lock it in your mind like you're putting it into a vault. Just like you would take important papers, money and jewelry and put that into a safe to keep it protected, you have to put your goal and your dream in your mind and lock it in there and don't let anybody take it from you. Let me do a little bit of a demonstration. Let's say you're down here at the bottom. And you may have heard, if you shoot for the stars, you might hit the moon. So let's say you get up here. You didn't quite make it to the top, to where you want to be, but you made it pretty high up. And you might settle. And I'm saying that's not what you should do. You should continue moving forward to achieve your goal, your dream. And let me show you here. Let's say your goal is up here. That's where you want to be. But we're talking about real life now. And you're going to have challenges that's going to come along the way. So you go to start off, and you move from where you are, and you get up here. That's a pretty good job. It's not bad. It's paying the bills, but you know you want more. But you're afraid to take a chance. You don't want to lose what you have and go backwards, but you're afraid to move out of this into something else. You're afraid to leave what's called the comfort zone. People get comfortable where they're at, and they no longer pursue that goal and that dream that's up here. So that's what happens. But I think you're a different kind of person. So you continue moving forward, and you make it over here. You know, that's really good. A lot of people are going to say, you know what? You're way better off than you were when you first started. They're going to tell you, yeah, that's good enough. And you might start thinking that about yourself, that this is good enough, but you still didn't make it up here. But we're talking about real life. And what happens in real life? Things come along the way, and they discourage you and set you back. Let's say you're in a job that is laying people off, so you lose your job now. Let's say you get into a traffic crash and you're hurt and you're out of work for a couple months and now you lose your job. Let's say you get sick and you can't work and you lose your position. So you continue moving forward and you find another job and you come over here. You didn't go backwards, but you still didn't go up to where you want to be. So then your friends and family start telling you, you know what, that's good enough. You need to stop there. And they're discouraging you. They're getting you upset, hurting you. You might tell your best friend, you know what, I need some encouragement. I need you to help me out. And your best friend kind of laughs at you and tells you, you know what, very few people make it to the top. Why do you think you can make it? And this really hurts you because you're depending on your friends and your family to encourage you and help you. And they didn't do it. So what happens? You start listening to all that negativity and you fall back down because you were listening to those people. And their negativity started to become your negativity. And you started believing it, so you fell back to the bottom. But then, luckily for you, you were at the right place at the right time. You were standing in a line at the grocery store, and there's a deputy sheriff there. And the deputy sheriff starts talking to you, asking you about your goals and your dreams, and you tell him that where you want to be. So that deputy encourages you, gives you motivation, and says you can do it. You got to set in your mind that no matter what happens, you can do it. So that deputy gives you a little bit of inspiration and motivation. What if your kid is at school and talking to the school resource officer, and that school resource officer tells your kid, you can do anything. You can achieve anything. And that kid comes home and tells you, Mommy, Daddy, the school resource officer told me I can do anything I want. And that's all it took, was that little spark, that little bit of motivation from law enforcement, for someone you weren't expecting it from, but you needed it. You needed that motivation. And what happens is you get fired up now, and you try really hard, and you do everything you can, and finally you make it to the top. Because law enforcement was trained to motivate and encourage. So now you made it to the top. You're up there now. But are you done? You're thinking, I made it to the top now. I'm the leader. This is where I want it to be. But are you done? Is it complete? It's not complete. So what do you do now as a leader? As a leader, what you do is you reach down and you pull somebody up and you encourage them. You motivate them. Just like the motivation and encouragement that you needed, now you reach down and you pull somebody up and you help them and they become a leader. And then that person pays it forward and helps the next person. And that next person becomes a leader, and it continues on and on. That's how we make the world better. That's how we make the community better. By encouraging people, lifting them up so they can do the same thing and pay it forward. So that is my mission. My mission is for law enforcement to lift people up so they can be the best they can be. And I know that will be the future of law enforcement. Coach Ray for Lee County Sheriff 2020.